But you know what's crazy? Because I feel like your life, the way when you talk about it, it's so much struggle, it's so much hardship. But still, you consider yourself the most luckiest person.
I'm absolutely the luckiest man on the planet.
Because still now, you still have a lot of hardship. You're getting hit from this direction, from that direction. You know what I mean? So how do you, first of all, if you could mention some of the moments where you were really struggling in your life, where you were really like in threats and you were like really stuck, and how you consider yourself lucky even despite all this.
I'll tell you why I'm absolutely lucky. And I don't want to give too many details away, but in my previous life, I was certainly living, I knew some very dangerous people. I've done some dangerous things. There's been a few expose documentaries on the kind of things I was involved in previously. I've had attempts on my life. People have tried to stab me. I've had people try to kill me. I've had members of my family attempts on them. I've had a very certainly difficult life. I don't consider any of the mental stress of this recent Matrix attack anywhere near comparable to the physical altercations and things that have happened to me. But the reason I'm the luckiest man on earth is because God has given me endless building blocks to build a superhero. He's given me endless power. He's given me endless motivation. What did we say?
Yeah.
He's given me endless. I have endless sources of power. I can sit here right now and recall events that will prevent me from sleeping for 2 to 3 days. That gives me a superpower that other men do not have. They want to go to sleep. They're tired. I can stop being tired for days at a time. I can just have a thought. I can remember. I can sit, close my eyes, and use the power of my brain to vividly remember events, and I will not sleep for days. So how
you don't need any drugs. You don't need anything.
I've never taken a drug in my life. I've never tried cocaine in my life. I've never tried weed in my life, ever.
Wow.
I drink a lot of coffee. I smoke cigars, bit of vodka, but I've never tried a narcotic in my life.
Wow.
So God has given me an endless source of power. And when people come to me and say, oh, this happened, I'm really sad, or my heart broke, or this bad thing happened to me, I say, good. Thank the Lord that he's given you this endless source of motivation. You're wasting it. Yeah. That's your problem. But it's been given to you. Nitrous oxide has been given to you. You just have to use it in the correct way. So I'm the luckiest man in the world because all the bad things that happened to me have given me all the building blocks to become the most fantastic man on the face of the planet.
Yeah. You spoke about smoking. So you smoke cigars, right?
Correct.
Shisha?
Yep.
Sometimes. Okay. So, but vaping you hate, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Well, shisha's tobacco.
Yeah.
Cigars are tobacco.
Right.
It's a plant. We basically kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't smoke weed at all, but I kind of get it's a plant, whatever. Yeah. Right.
But it's escapism. I'd say there's a difference. I'd say that tobacco is like more like a stimulant, and I'd say that weed is more of an intoxicant.
Correct. Well, the reason I don't touch any narcotics at all is because, firstly, I was a professional athlete and my blood was tested. Okay. I'm now 35 years old without ever having tried a drug ever. Is there any point in starting now?
No.
Like I've lived my whole life without ever trying these things. Why start now?
Yeah.
Also, when I look at some of the most degenerate, stupid, ridiculous people on the planet,
they're all drug users.
They all use drugs. It's not very often I meet a man who's completely head to toe, has his life in order, and he likes drugs. A lot of rich people take cocaine, yes, and I do know them and some of them, but I still think they'd be better without cocaine. Yeah. You know, that's just genuinely a vice. But if you go to a festival full of brokies, full of peasants and peons, full of people who don't try very hard at life, and they sit there and they idolize these false idols given to them by the Matrix, and they stand in a crowd full of millions of other people like an insignificant peasant and jump up and down, wow, Diplo, wow, whoever.
Escapism,
yeah, just complete peasant mindset. If you look at these people and say, do you like drugs? Guess what they say?
I love it.
Oh, yeah. So I don't want to go anywhere near the peasantry, right? Yeah, so, because that's what it is. It's disgusting and it's peasantry. So that's why I don't take drugs. And the reason I don't like vape is because I don't think that vape is even remotely natural. Because a tobacco is a plant, okay, cool. But if you manage to put chemicals inside of a little container that tastes like blueberry ice.
Yeah.
What even is blueberry ice? Yeah. It's not even a flavor. It's just words.
Yeah.
And then you taste it and you go, that does taste like blueberry ice.
Yeah.
How did they pull that off? Yeah. I can't believe it's possibly good for me. Add in the price that it cost. Add in the fact that it costs $1.
Yeah.
And comes deep from the heart of China. Like you think they give a shit about the West just puffing away on this petrochemical? They don't care.
They're happy.
Yeah. So if you're gonna smoke, at least smoke something. It was grown.
Yeah. And
it's kind of
I'd say like they say. I mean, they say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yes.
And with tobacco, I mean, there's scientific studies about what it is, but with vape, we don't really know what's the problem.
Well, the reason I smoke is not because I'm addicted, because I have an iron mind and I could blink and cure my brain and stop smoking completely. In fact, there's certain places I go to in the world where I don't smoke for months at a time. I'm not addicted to anything. The reason I smoke is because nicotine is good for your testosterone level.
Okay.
That's the reason I smoke. I smoke because I like the drug of nicotine, because nicotine is actually positive. The reason I drink coffee is not because I'm addicted, because caffeine is a miracle drug.
Yeah.
Caffeine
It's good
is
for your heart.
Caffeine's a miracle.
Yeah.
I drink endless coffee. And of course the Matrix will come along and say, too much coffee is bad for you, too much meat's bad for you. They say anything to make you weak and stupid. Yeah. Caffeine, people don't understand that coffee changed the world. Before coffee and caffeine, we were we were living our lives in rhythm with the sun. We got up when the sun came up, we went down when the sun came down.
We couldn't go against that.
We didn't go against it very much. With the Industrial Revolution and caffeine, the introduction of caffeine, we now had night shifts, we now had double shifts. Think about this. If a job introduces a coffee break, if a company says, stop working and drink this coffee, that's because the coffee you have is worth the time they let you not work, because you make up for it plus some. That's how powerful it is. And what's actually interesting about me is when I think back, my entire reality is caffeinated. I haven't been awake without caffeine in years.
Yeah.
I drink coffee every single day. So I thought about this and I thought, maybe life's better without caffeine. So I took a week off of coffee.
Yeah.
And there was zero advantage. I didn't sleep any better. Yeah. I felt pissed off. I didn't feel like I could focus as well. I was more tired, but I couldn't sleep any better. It was weird. I was just like, this isn't me. Now, obviously, I'm still a hyper-competitive individual. I still went to the gym. I still did my work. I'm still the top G. But I didn't feel as good.
No benefits.
There was no benefits.
Yeah.
So after a week, I had a cup of coffee, and it was like, the miracle is back. It's develop a coffee addiction. It's fantastic. There's nothing bad about caffeine. I have 10 to 15 coffees a day every single day, and I will do to the day I die. And just to finish off for my vices, coffee is not a vice. I want the caffeine. Smoking's not a vice. I want the nicotine. These are drugs that I believe are genuinely good for me. The only vice, I guess, is alcohol. And although it looks like in some of my videos I drink a lot, that I can drink a lot. I must have the genetic disposition. I can outdrink almost anybody on the planet. I don't truly drink very often.
And you don't get drunk.
And I know I'm a professional. So for me to get drunk, it has to be a controlled, closed environment, or I have to have a security team. I will not get drunk
in open.
Never. It's either in my house with armed guards outside, or it's on a yacht, which is
sophisticated.
It's on a yacht, which is in the middle of the ocean. Or it's very difficult for me to get drunk because I don't like to lose control of reality like that. And 9 times, in fact, not 9, 9.999 times out of 10, if I'm drinking, I either have a weapon on me or somebody next to me does.